now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sportz Nutz. Yes, this is episode 165. The prodigal son himself, Abe Gordon, is going to be back. Oh man, we're always excited to have him.
We got Abe today.
You know, we excited when he's always on our show.
I think I missed the last one, man.
You did.
Shame on you.
I don't know. How dare I? How dare I?
Gosh. But we hope you got Isaiah. It's great to see you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. You won't see Pensman tonight. He is actually out of town. But yes, we are live. Shout out to everybody who's listening to us on 95.5 KFCE in Terrell, Texas, and TigerNation.live, where it broadcasts in Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. So we're all over the place in the 29 other countries we air internationally as well. We cannot thank you guys enough and appreciate you. My man sitting next to me, though, Matt Thomas. How you doing, man?
Man, it feels like it's been a while since I've seen you, man. I mean,
all right.
You know, what has it been, like 3 days?
You're not outside my door to come in here and just like surprise me again, are you?
I'm not going to do that again, man. If I do it, I'm not going to let you know. I'm not going to tell you. But, you know, we'll do that. Yeah, for those who don't know, man. For those who don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I drove up to South Carolina to, pay Mr. Keeler there a little visit, unbeknownst to himself. You know, me and his wife set it up. So, it was like a, you know how it is, like, let's say you win a scratch off for like $1 million and you celebrate like
that's how I reacted.
That's how Brandon was, man. That's how Brandon was. So, you know, I appreciate the love, Brandon. I felt
very. I could not open that door fast enough. I was like, I was so excited. But yes, it was so good to have. It was good to have him there. My man below me, though, Brian Pettit. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. Just had another week of work. So got another week of work, and now we're starting leaf season. So we'll be doing that until about January. So things are cranking up where we work. So where I work at. So yeah, it's going to be a busy time now. And we got a lot of sports going on too in the world.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of sports going on. For those who noticed, we don't have one of our members with us right now. He is actually going to take a little bit of a break. He's got some things he has to take care of. He is still a part of the show. However, he is not with us now. Just some personal things he has to take care of. However, we are actually expanding. Yes, the Sportz Nutz are actually, the network itself is expanding. I just had this conversation. We have an individual who will be joining our network. He is going to also pay for the expansion that's going to cost to have us add on to the network. So he will be paying for us. So we will welcome him on when it's time.
Brandon, you can't mention financials, man. Come on, man.
I'm not mentioning.
You're trying to get that thing in the mail, man. Come on, we can't do that.
But anyway, this week has been a very, very interesting week, to say the least, in the sporting world, and we are going to cover it all. We're talking with Abe Gordon. We're going to talk some NFL, some Atlanta Falcons, some Atlanta Hawks. We're definitely going to talk the Atlanta Braves. We have a question or two about the Atlanta United. We're talking college basketball and a whole lot more. And after Abe leaves, we have a big show to still cover. Alex Ovechkin just hit his 900th goal. We'll talk about that. And there's this nasty, nasty dispute going on between YouTube TV and Disney/ABC. We'll talk a little bit about that one. And then, unfortunately, another young, talented, and gifted football athlete passed away at the age of 24. We'll talk a little bit about that one. Then I have a question for everybody. What is your best or favorite food, whichever you want to call it, for chilling at either the fire pit or at a bonfire? I mean, you could even include it as a tailgate. You tell us, I want 4 foods. This is from each one of you. You tell us 4 food. Matt will have a quick sports story. Matt actually will leave in mid-show because he has something he has to tend to. So it will still be me and it will still be Brian. So we will do our honorable mentions there. And then, as we always, we have you, the most interactive fans there are. Thank you guys for tuning in. And without further ado, Matt, you ready?
Drum roll, please.
The prodigal son, Mr. Abe Gordon. What's up, Abe? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing this evening?
Good, man. Thank you so much. You know, we always have a blast having you on, and it really does mean the world to us that you spend some time with us over the week, coming on. So let's get right into it. Obviously, like I said, we had a lot of fun here, but let's talk about this debacle going on over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium with a particular head coach and an offensive coordinator. It's like every other week we're having something happen that makes you sit there and scratch your head just when you think you can't say Atlanta's going to bleep it up enough. They find ways to do it even more. What is it going to take for Arthur Blank to finally say, you know what? Not only am I letting Raheem Morris go, I'm letting Terry go, and Zach Robinson can go. What is it going to take?
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably take certainly a loss on Sunday and a couple more down the road. I mean, here's the thing is Arthur Blank is not one to pull that trigger quickly. And I think you look at the remainder of the schedule, I actually do think it's manageable for the Falcons if they can figure a couple of things out. And that's where the problem begins. And look, I was real high on Raheem Morris, and the night he was hired, I was like, dude, you got to bring Zach Robinson over. And he did. It hasn't worked out. And I think it's not just Zach Robinson, but I do think it starts there. I think you look at Michael Penix, the development that he's had hasn't been good enough. The performance hasn't been good enough. And then offensively, this team has not been healthy enough at the receiver position. Drake London was out for a game. You missed Darnell Mooney for a fair percentage of the season as well. And they've never been able to find a rhythm, find a gear outside of, hey, Bijan Robinson has a wild day today, and so the offense looks good. But we've also seen the past couple of weeks when teams focus and limit on Bijan Robinson, this is a team that offensively can be handled, even on a day where Drake London has 3 tutties. And so, look, there's a lot of things wrong. Special teams has been a debacle all year. The kicker situation's a mess. There's just a lot of things that are wrong. I don't think it's any one blame on Zach Robinson or blame Raheem Morris or blame Michael Penix. I think everyone has a little bit of share. Blame Terry Fontenot. It's no one responsible figure for what currently feels like a downfall, although, again, it feels like you're one unsurprising win from getting back in this thing. Like, I think if you do find a way to beat the Colts on Sunday, you look at the rest of the schedule for the Falcons, depending on what level of play you have, Carolina's beatable, the Saints are beatable, the Jets are beatable. Who knows what the Seahawks are, 5 weeks away. So there are some winnable games coming up if you're, trending in the right direction. The problem is there's no reason right now to believe that this team is trending in the right direction. We need to see it on Sunday there in Berlin.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to Wes Durham, as you know who he is. I talked to him and I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "It's just they're not clicking together. There's no real camaraderie going on right now." And it's so prevalent. I mean, Matt has alluded to this too. You beat the Bills. And then you go and you play the Panthers and you get thrashed by the Panthers. You didn't get across the 50-yard line until the second half. It's so weird. You get mollywopped by the hapless Miami Dolphins. And then like last week, everything looked promising. Yet again, though, it's the kicking situation. Is the kicking situation, obviously, it's been a long time since we had Money Matt as our kicker, but is the Atlanta Falcons organization cursed on their kicking game? Like, what is it about, going there and just absolutely struggling?
No, I don't think it's a curse. I mean, I actually think Younghoe Koo was good for a while. He got hurt last year, and whatever he was is gone, and it didn't feel like he could get it back. And that was what was frustrating this offseason is they bring in Lenny Craig, this German kicker, part of the International Pathway Program, and they say, here's the 2 kickers, Younghoe Koo and Lenny Craig. They're going to have a competition, and it just never felt like a real competition. And so they kind of just handed Younghoe Koo the job back under the premise of last year it was this hip thing and he was hurt, instead of the premise of sometimes guys just it's like in golf, man, you get the yips, and Chuck Knobloch couldn't throw from second base. For whatever reason, he just wasn't pure anymore. But he had a good run as Falcons kicker. I would say for 2 years there, towards the start of his reign there, he was probably the best kicker in the entire NFL. But that fell apart. And I don't think they took it serious enough in the offseason. You didn't hold a real competition. And at that point, by then, Now you start playing musical chairs, right? And you bring a guy no one's ever heard of that couldn't make the cut in New England over. He's here for a couple of games, and then he misses a PAT, last week, and now he's gone. Now you put Zane Gonzalez on the plane flight out there to Germany, and we'll see if he can get it right. At least he's kicked in the NFL. He's coming off some injury stuff, and so we'll see if he's right. I just don't think they took it serious enough in the offseason, and now you have to deal with the fallout from that in season.
Matt made this alluded to real very well, but what about Rodrigo Blankenship? He's a
what
very
about
favorite man.
There's 20 teams that need kickers, and no one's picking this guy up. I know he just had a tryout the other day, and I know he's going to a different style of tryout, over the weekend or whatever, and tape's going to be sent out. But it's not like the Falcons are the only team looking for kickers here, and he's not getting signed by anyone. I don't know what it is. It's a fair question to ask. But it's not like we're the only team here in Atlanta that is passing over this guy. Something is up. I don't know if it's a money thing. I don't know if it's a personality thing. The guy can kick. And I know it didn't go great for him with the Colts first time out. He went to the Battlehawks or whoever he kicked for and looked great. And 21-22 on the season. And so the guy can kick. I don't know why it's not sticking, but something is up, and I don't just blame the Falcons for an oversight there because there are plenty of other teams ignoring him as well.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, welcome back to the show, man. As you know, we always appreciate you coming through, giving insight. It's just unfortunate that every time you come, we're talking about the same thing, man. and that's
it's Atlanta sports, man.
But it's Atlanta sports, but it's always about the Falcons can't get right. I mean, as it stands, I have family, friends that are, fans of other teams. I have people, different states, different cities, and the Falcons are the team that good teams come to play to get right. Then we're that team. Looking ahead, if let's just say hypothetically, if you were advising the Falcons leadership, what are one or two bold changes that you would recommend right now for us?
Yeah, I would make a change at offensive coordinator. The problem is you don't really have anyone on staff that's called plays before. I don't know if going outside the organization at this point in the season is an option. They did let quarterbacks coach TJ Yates call plays for one preseason game. I don't know if that is much to go off of, but I would make a change at offensive coordinator. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else you could do. I mean, you look at certain things, and I think all of the things that are frustrating that you would adjust and adapt probably goes back to the OC. It goes back to Zach Robinson. You don't like the formation they run. You don't like the play distribution and how many times Bijan is getting the ball. You don't like the fact that Kyle Pitts isn't all of that kind of will fall back to the OC and the play calling on some level. And then the other level, which you can't really just change or adapt, is what Penix is seeing and the stage of development he's in. I do think there is probably an understated level of frustration, and people probably don't want to talk about it. Penix has not been good enough. He just hasn't. You can't have a game where Drake London's out and just no receivers are catching the ball. That's not good enough. So I think there are frustrations abound, but I think it's fair to be just as critical of Michael Penix and where he is as it is the offensive coordinator as well.
Let's switch it up real quick. Obviously, we know that Alex Anthopoulos likes to do the good old boy system and keep it at home and never really branch out. And it continued this offseason with Walt Weiss becoming the next manager of the Atlanta Braves. But, the next question that happened, obviously we saw they exercised the options with Chris Sale and with Ozzie Albies. And they didn't do anything with Raisel Iglesias and with him yet in general. Do you think that even though we picked up the option on Ozzie Albies, do you think that they would consider moving on from him and getting better talent, like trades-wise? Or what do you think they would do with Ozzie Albies?
No, they called him a core guy. And I don't think Anthopoulos is to just use that term core loosely. And look, you got to remember, it's really only a $3 million option to pick him up. You're going to have to spend $4 million to let him go. So the difference between that, the $7 million, it's not as big as it really feels in that manner. Look, you're hoping he figures it out, right? And you're hoping with new voices in the dugout and new coaches all over the staff, something gets going. I think he's good enough defensively. He doesn't cost that much. Would it be nice to upgrade? Sure. There's not a lot of great second basemen out for grabs. He's been here and he's comfortable here. You just hope that he's better. And we saw a little bit of stretch here and there over the course of this past season after he returned from injury that he looked a little better, and then it went downhill again. They just got to – and this is not just him. We've seen Matt Olson and Sean Murphy and Austin Riley and all these guys go through ups and downs. Michael Harris certainly this year. They got to find a way to get these guys to be consistent. And Ozzy's just another one in that group that needs to figure it out.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Abe. So on the pitching side, several starters and key arms, they were injured or underperformed. So how concerned should fans be about the rotation's health and depth heading into 2026? And what would you prioritize for the front office?
Yeah, I think you're actually pretty happy with where it's at from a depth perspective. Now, you want to sit here and tell me that you've got money to spend and could go get another frontline guy. I'm not going to argue against that. And maybe you mix and move a couple of guys around and maybe a piece goes to the bullpen as opposed to lengthens out in Gwinnett, something like that. You're getting a lot of guys back, though, a lot of guys that I trust. Ronaldo Lopez should be back. Spencer Schwellenbach should be back. You have Chris Sale. I don't know the timeline for Grant Holmes. AJ Smith-Shawver's probably out. But you got some young guys there. Like the depth is okay, but I'm never going to argue against a frontline guy if you're willing to pay that. And again, your bullpen is so much more of a significant problem to me still than the starters. I'm still not with the Spencer Strider should be the closer conversation. I think if he can get healthy, if he can get back, if he can figure out some of his own stuff, I think he's just too good to not be a starter. But ultimately, if you get to a point this season or down the road where you're saying, hey, we got to get Max out of you and we're just not out in the rotation, maybe you consider that. I'm not there yet, although I know a lot of people have considered that. But I feel pretty good with Sale and Lopez and Waldrip and Schwellenbach. Again, I don't know where Holmes is and what he's going to be. Strider in there. So I think your numbers are okay, but you've got to stay healthy and you've got to get some of the same production that you did this past season.
Absolutely. Brian, you have a question about the Atlanta United. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. With United signing Tete Martino as their manager, what might be the next move for United to get back to the importance level?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the Tata Martino signing. Obviously, you're bringing back the coach that won the MLS Cup with you a couple of years ago. And it just – the question for me is how long is he going to be here? He's got a history of being in places for 2 years and moving on. He was here. He was with Mexico. He's with Inter Miami. He just doesn't stay in a place very long. And I'm just concerned about by the time he's finally turning this thing around, he's going to bail out again and move on to the next thing. And that just seems to be the fit for him. And maybe that changes. Maybe he is here in Atlanta for a while. But I think that the thing that you look at right now is that they've got to find ways to score goals again. In the 2 years that Tata was here, they scored 70 goals a piece each year. I think they were down at, boy, I don't want to say the wrong number. It might have been in the high 30s. I feel like it was in the low 40s, but it might have been like 38 goals or 42 goals this year. And that's just not good enough. So one of the things is I don't know how many pieces he can replace. Unless you're moving designated players, you've got Latte Loth up top. You're not bringing someone in else up top to start over him. You have your midfield in Moranchuk and Miguel Almiron, and maybe you can do something on the left wing, although I liked what Luke Brennan gave you this year. And so the main pieces of that attack are probably not going to change. So can he get more out of them? I think that's going to be the big question. If so, I do think they have the talent. Like, I really do think they have talent enough to compete very quickly and be turned around, but they got to figure out a way to score goals.
What's up with obviously we know Guzman? Guzman he's hung it up. He made the hook post. He's hanging his cleats up. Who's going to be the starting goalie going into next season?
Yeah, I really like the youngster they played in the back third of the season, Jaden Hibbert, but they certainly did not commit to him as the starting goalie. I think he's in the discussion, and then maybe you look outside and see who else is available or who might want to compete for that job. But I really liked what Jaden Hibbert. I would feel comfortable going forward with him. He played, boy, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 games. And I thought in his first run as an MLS goalie, there would be mistakes. There would be learning moments. And there just weren't. He was very solid pretty much at every turn. There was certainly a mistake here or there, but none that I would say directly cost you goals. And so I expected some of those mistakes to happen, and they didn't. I would go with Jaden Hibbert. I don't know what sort of money they have to spend or who they're looking at, but if it is Hibbert, who's been in the academy, been in the Atlanta United system for a while, based on what we saw the back third of the season, I think I'd be comfortable there. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah. So Abe, pretty much, man. I guess I guess we can go ahead and shift kind of gears over to college basketball here, man. Out of all the freshmen that are in this year's class, do you see anybody with any potential to kind of lead a franchise? We see Cooper Flagg playing right now, and due to his situation, he's kind of trying to fit in. The ball's not in his hand as much as a normal as it would be for a normal number one draft pick. But for these college kids now, man, like you got AJ DeBance, Darren Peterson, do you see any, elite prospects that are ready to lead a franchise?
Cam Boozer's the one for me, the freshman at Duke. He's just a double-double machine. He's got the right size and physical build to come into the league next year as a rookie and kind of not shrink. I think he can handle the pounding, at either small forward or power forward position. I don't think anyone is ready to come in and lead a franchise. Like none of these guys, and it's been a long time since I probably would have felt that way. Probably the last one I would have felt was Zion, and obviously we see all of the struggles and troubles that he's had. But he was a guy I was like, this guy could play in the league today. I don't know if I see that from anyone. I mean, look, the last guy to really just come in as a rookie and lead his team is LeBron. And I think people just probably take for granted how difficult it is to be the number one option on a team or have those expectations. I mean, you look at just for the Atlanta Hawks, and I got their game on right now. Zachary Rieseshay was the number one pick last year. Like he's like the fourth option when Trae Young is healthy. And so even as the number one pick, I mean, he's not being asked to come in and lead a franchise. I just think that's such a difficult ask. I don't think any of the guys this past draft are ready to do that. Cooper Flagg would be the closest, but even him, I don't know if he's anywhere close to that just yet. So I'm a huge fan of Boozer. I think he can be incredibly impactful, but I don't think even he needs to come into the league right now as a team's first option.
And we saw some monster debuts for college basketball. Just an example, Cal State Northridge women's basketball started their season on a 72-0 run before giving up their first basket to Bethesda. We saw we saw so many teams who are not. The question. It's hard to realm this question. LSU won by 102 points. Albeit an exhibition game, they won by 102 points. But at what point, Abe, in your mind, do you say enough is enough with scheduling, these little NAIA schools taking on these big boys? I mean, what's next? You're going to see Reinhardt University go take on Kansas at Kansas? I mean, those kind of things just so weird. I mean, we did see two D2 teams upset two D1 teams. We saw Hawaii Pacific University knock off Boise State, and we saw Northwood win last night when is enough for these little? I understand their paychecks, but these little schools coming and getting absolutely mollywopped. When can we stop saying that we're done with that?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. There's a couple of things, especially against the bigger schools. If you're a small school, to be able to sell I don't know if even recruit is the right term at some of those levels, but to sell someone that say, hey, we're going to lose, but you get to go to Duke and play Cameron Indoor Stadium, or we're going to go to Florida and play in the O-Dome. And so I think there are benefits for some. Look, they're not out there to win those games. And for the big schools, we obviously know the benefit is getting some live game action where you're at minimal risk of a loss and figuring a couple things out. And I think it's so early in the season. I don't think the ramp up for college basketball is very long. I think it's difficult because you only have a couple exhibition games. They probably have more NBA preseason games at 4 than allowed exhibition games for college basketball. So it doesn't really bother me if it helps float these smaller programs and get some money into their system and allows these student athletes to say, hey, I took the floor at UNC at the Dean Dome or Duke or at Assembly Hall in Indiana, wherever it may be. It might be worth getting, lambasted by 74 points. It doesn't bother me. It's not like they don't know what's going to happen going in. At least in football, you have the argument where it's a health and safety concern. Guys can get hurt. Basketball's basketball. Just because they're at Duke and you're at whatever doesn't mean you're at risk of physical injury. So I think it's a different discussion in football. You're dealing with the health aspect of it. You're also dealing with a much smaller season, and there's some different aspects there than basketball. So it doesn't bother me at all.
Brian, you have a question. Go ahead.
Okay. We're going to switch it to the WNBA. With the WNBA offering players an annual salary of $2 million a year, do you think we could still see a lockout happening? And can we put this pettiness aside and focus on getting back to the quality basketball in the WNBA?
Yeah, it's a fascinating scenario because this is a league that is getting more eyes, more viewership, more popularity than ever. I think there's still a very serious question about the revenue and if this league can turn a profit. And I know they got new TV deals kicking in, and that'll help. I just think and until one side or the other, either the league or the players, is actually open about the financials, I don't really know who's in the right here. I think the players are probably asking for what they believe they are worth without a full understanding. My guess would be of what it costs to operate, what it costs to travel, what it costs to just exist as a league. And this is a league that for however many years has been funded by the NBA, continues to be funded by the NBA. And finally, with this new TV package, maybe they can float on their own. But even then, I'm just not sure. The money available to go around is not what the players believe it is. And so this whole premise of the NBA players get this percent of revenue, we should get this percent of revenue. I don't know what your revenue is. And so the percentages are way off. And I think it's just a much different discussion. I think you would like to sit here and back these great women athletes and say, you are worth this. But the reality of the situation is this is what the league has to pay its players. It's not the pool that you believe it is. And I think it's just a tough sell. And so because neither side really is honest about the financials, and certainly the league has reason to try and hide as much of it as they can. I understand that. I want to back the players, but I just don't think there's as much money around as they tend to believe. And so it's tough. It's a tough selling point.
It absolutely is, and we know that there are several cities that are in the running to possibly have more expansions coming. One has been mentioned is Houston. Another one has been mentioned is Charlotte. So hopefully something materializes. Personally, I don't want to see a lockout. Those are the worst things to have. I feel that divides you forever. You're never going to come back together as a cohesive bunch. I understand it's two rams butting heads on the mountain to see what they're going to get. But just in this lockout, it's this whole pettiness that's going on. Matt, go ahead. Oh, maybe. Matt. I think he froze.
I think
he's
frozen like Ice Tray.
Yeah, I think he's frozen. Oh, there you go. Matt.
There he is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, my last question here, man. It's going to be about that Bronny James dunk, man. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Here we go.
I'm just playing, guys. But no, Abe. We saw the new college football playoff rankings come out, and we saw that Georgia Tech went from top 10 to 17th, 18th, or whatever. What is Tech going to have to do? I know you probably answered this 100 times, but what is Tech going to have to do to solidify a spot in that particular playoff?
Yeah, I think realistically there's two paths, right? If you're going to get into the playoffs, win the ACC title. And I think that's probably the straightest, the most direct path. I think if they win out, I think they hold the tiebreakers they need to get into the ACC title game. That means Boston College on the road and Pittsburgh at home. That Pitt game is going to be very tough. We saw Pitt, to some people's surprise, jump into the rankings as well. So they can win the ACC, go to the championship game, and win the conference. You get a guaranteed bid there. The other realm is if you lose maybe to Pitt, who is a ranked team, and then find a way to beat a top 5 Georgia team. You're 10-2. You got a top 5 win. You start to try and see where the other teams fall. That's not a guaranteed berth, but I think at 10-2 with a win over Georgia, you're in the discussion. So I think the easiest, more likely path is probably just going to the ACC title game and winning that. But beating Georgia 10-2, and I think you're there. I guess the other path would be getting the ACC title game, beating Georgia, being 11-1. Even if you lose the ACC title game at that point, you're probably still in. So that's probably a third path. If you run the rest of the season and then lose to whoever it would be, Louisville or whatever in the ACC title game, you're probably still safe if you get that win over Georgia. But they're by no means a lock anymore.
I even asked Wes Durham. I said, "Why is nobody sold on Georgia Tech for the fact that this is the best start they've
Because
had?"
they're not good. Because they're not good, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I've watched this team week in and week out, and I just sit there. I was like, guys, I get it. They're winning games, and much respect to Haynes King. That dude is one of the all-timers. Nothing against him, but I sit and watch this team. I'm like, this team's not any good, man. Look at the rest of the top 10. You're not picking them to beat anybody in that top 10. They get slow. Texas Tech would kill that team. And we'll find out. Now Georgia's going to be different because you got the rivalry thing, and who knows. But I don't know what to tell you, man. I wanted them to be undefeated. I wanted them to get in the playoffs, and I still do. But at the same time, that team's not beating anyone in the top 5. They're not good. They're not.
Abe, I got a good question. What's the vibe down there at Georgia Tech? Since you work in Atlanta and all that.
A lot different than it was a week ago after that NC State game. I think people here are probably coming to the realization that, boy, I don't know if they are going to make the playoffs. And I think before that NC State game, you're sitting there and you're just like, man, if we can just get through this, no matter what happens. A lot of the mindset was that Georgia game's not going to matter because we're probably going to be favored the rest of the way. And whatever happens at Georgia, you're 11-1 on the season. Go to the ACC title game, doesn't matter. Now they're walking on eggshells. You got people talking about Brent Key, and if another job's going to come, swoop him. You got people talking about, well, look at Pitt. That team's ranked and they're trending upwards, and they figured out their offense after a slow start, and so that's going to be a tough game, even though it's at home. And then obviously the Georgia game. And so people are nervous that it's going to fall apart in these last 3-4 games of the season, might miss the ACC title game, might miss the playoffs altogether. And a season that started in a mindset of stacking a couple of unexpected wins, ends up being just another season where you're very good, but left out of the playoffs.
Absolutely. Real quick, Abe, before we let you go, what is up on tap for you this weekend? What is I know you have a busy schedule. Can you let everybody know when you're on air next and what you're covering this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be on air tomorrow morning on 92.9 The Game or on the Odyssey app there. Just chatting college football, part of our college football game time, kind of pregame extravaganza. We got a couple of guys that started off at 8, and then I'll kick into gear at 10. And then, the Falcons are out there in Germany. So we got a 9:30 kick. So it's not too early. It's not that bad. But, look, we'll be the end of college football the night before, sliding right into a 9:30 kickoff. There's not too much time in between. So should be a fun sports weekend. Hawks are in action right now. And, Georgia, obviously, dangerous game tomorrow. It's a noon kickoff Eastern time, but at Mississippi State, so 11 a.m. local. And Georgia's, it's a dangerous game if you let it be. So we'll see if they can get out of there with a win.
Matt has a question real quick before both of you and him leave.
No rush. I'll go.
Hey, just real quick, man. This is just fan speak. It's just fan speak.
All right.
If let's say the Falcons did decide to part ways with the coaching staff, there? First of all, we know the Falcons, they always go grab new coaches. This can't work anymore. Do you see any coaches out there that will be a good fit for this team?
Who are you thinking? Because I know you got a name that you'd want. Who's on your mind?
Look, man, I'm just gonna say it because it can't get any worse than what we've seen the last 6 years, man. It can't get any worse. I'll give Bill Belichick a shot, man. I'm sorry.
No.
What? No.
You can be realistic.
At least he's somebody who
Rex Ryan or Mike McCarthy, something like.
I'll take McCarthy.
Anybody that has winning experience.
I don't want
anybody that has
winning
experience.
I don't want Rex Ryan. I certainly don't want Belichick. I would listen to Mike McCarthy. I would, if you want to go that route, I'd be open to that. What I want is a unquestioned offensive play caller. I just think so many of the guys that have success in the league, and that, by the way, that does not mean give Josh McDaniels another damn shot.
Or Chip Kelly. Or Chip Kelly.
There.
Or Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly's about to get fired if he's not careful. But, look, not everyone's Sean McVay. Not everyone's Kyle Shanahan. I think we understand that. But I still look at what the Bears are now doing with Ben Johnson. Now they got a gross of talent, which helps. But I would still want an offensive play caller. Raheem's kind of a defensive guy, and you brought in Zach Robinson. It didn't work. And I don't know who the, quote, hot young offensive play caller is anymore. I think we had a number of years where there were those guys, whether it was Ben Johnson, before he got canned, Bobby Slowick. Kingsbury's an interesting name. I brought him up the other day as to whether he'd be interested in one of the college jobs. I don't know if he's taking another NFL job right now. This second season for Jaden Daniels, obviously they're dealing with injuries, but there's been some setbacks offensively. Despite the fact that they added a high price receiver, despite the fact that they're able to bring Terry McLaurin back. I haven't been overly impressed with him, so I don't know if he'd be my first call. This is part of the problem, is I don't know who the obvious go-to head coach is right now. If you wanted to go defensive again, I think there are some prospects. But in terms of an offensive play caller, I don't know who the obvious guy is right now. Would you give Todd Monken a shot coming over from the Baltimore OC? I don't think he does a lot for you.
What about Brian Billick? Remember, he was the head coach and an offensive genius at the Ravens.
Yeah, it feels like it's been 15 years since he was on the sidelines. I would say this. I think now their season started to turn in a manner I kind of thought it was going to blow up. I was kind of waiting for Pittsburgh to fire Mike Tomlin. I would have loved to have him, but they're surprisingly, their season has steadied. Obviously, that division is wide open with the injury to Lamar and the Ravens' bad start. So I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I thought there was, like, before the year starts, I'm like, this team's going to go like 7-10 under Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to fire Tomlin, and I want to be ready to scoop them up. Now,
God.
there also might be like some weird bit where like Tomlin respects and loves Raheem Morris and would refuse to take that job, which would just be like an all-time bad beat.
Kick in the face.
It would be the worst. To your point, Matt, like I kind of do, depending on where the season goes, I do think a change is more than possible. I don't have any names, but I would like it to be an offensive mind. I think we've tried defense. And look, you could argue we tried offense with Arthur Smith. I had some problems with that from the beginning in terms of him being, a modern offensive play caller as opposed to a guy that had Derrick Henry.
Exactly. Just give Derrick Henry the ball and call it a day. I formation. Get out the way.
No, it's a slight difference there. But I don't know who that innovative mind is, and I think that's one of the big hesitations right now. Of not just and there's been a couple of firings here, but like any team that's looking to fire a coach is like, who is the obvious, like, we're going to go after this guy name? You're not going to go to Tampa and grab an OC. He's only been there for, it's his first year because they keep handing out OC jobs into head coach roles there in Tampa. I'd be interested in you mentioned John Gruden. There's another guy that's got a lawsuit that I would listen to, and that's Brian Flores. I'd be interested to see. Now, that's not an offensive mind, but if you don't want a new guy, if you want what you would call a retread, I think Mike McCarthy makes sense, and then Flores, and then you look at the Colts. Lou Anarumo that's a guy that was very close to getting a head coach job not too long ago, and so he had some weird falling out in Cincinnati, but he steadied the ship and made the Colts a contender again with Daniel Jones somehow on the other side of the ball. So it's just I just don't know who the obvious replacements would be, and that makes it a little bit tougher to just go ahead and pull that trigger.
Absolutely. Real quick, we have on our little screen total here, we have 28 people watching and 3 likes, and the 28-3 stuff never seems to leave us alone.
I mean, if you wanted to, I couldn't care less. Like, move on. Like, it only bothers people if you let it. Like,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, people drop that on me. I'm like, cool, man, super original, great job.
It's sold.
You want me to buy you a shot? Like, what are we doing here?
I love it.
Yeah. Abe, that guy's in Washington. He's in Washington now. So
Abe, we appreciate you always, man. It's a lot of fun having you on, and we look forward to having you on again. Sound good?
Yeah, you got it, guys. Anytime.
Take care, Abe.
See you, boys.
Take care, man. See you.
All right. Well, we got to say goodbye to Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
Matt
is going to attend to some finishing up some personal business that he has to do. Matt, we'll talk to you soon. All right, man.
All right, guys. Brandon, I'll get up with you a little bit later tonight, man.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
Bye, Matt.
All right. So
great show.
Now that all right, hey, Ralph just said, hey guys, great show. Please like and subscribe. Yes. All right. So now it is just Brian and myself. We don't care. We still have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So this topic I'm going to talk about is really, really big. This is where I do wish Pensman was here, but congratulations goes out to Alex Ovechkin for hitting 900 career goals. Absolutely amazing accomplishment. Now, my question though, before it's all said and done, Brian, do you think he could hit the 1,000 goal? What do you think?
That's a lot of that's kind of tough. It depends on how many years. How many years has he actually been in the league?
A long time.
A long time. I just wonder how his body. If he gets to 1,000, that's just going to be a lot because you're going to have to hit 10 goals, maybe more than that each season. I don't know what his average is, but you would have to average 15 a year almost.
He's been in the league for 20 years. He was officially drafted in 2004.
Okay. So It's going to be hard to do.
He would need to have 50 goals a season.
Yep.
Minimum to obviously
To reach
hit,
it.
and he has to play it 2 more years to get the 1,000.
Yeah.
But Alex he can still play. So I
Yeah.
could realistically see him getting 1,000. Pensman, I know you're watching. Let us know what you think. Do you think that Alex Ovechkin could get to 1,000 goals? Guys.
I wonder how long it took him to get from 800 to 900. I wonder how long it took him to do that.
Not even a season, not even a full season.
Not even a season. So he could do it. Then.
He could do it. He's a very talented. He's definitely going to the Hall of Fame too. I see all the way he's going to the Hall of Fame. But hockey in general is such an amazing sport. It is a cult following, absolutely. So if you're in it, you definitely know it. And it's so much fun. It really is. And guys, our man Pensman of Pensman Sports, he is our hockey expert. He is unfortunately not here this week. He is attending to helping a good buddy of ours, Ralph, which this gentleman right here is the one he is helping. Ralph, it's great to see you home, buddy. I actually had a chance to talk to him on the phone just a little bit ago, Brian, and it was really good to hear him.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we give
I'm glad he's back home. I'm glad he's out of the hospital.
Shout out to Ralph.
Yeah.
And as you guys see on my name, the Sportz Nuts are expanding. Stay tuned. Well, yes, they are. I'm so glad to mention this. We will be adding to our network. Yes, Ralph Williams of RW Media is going to be a part of the Sportz Nuts. He will air his stuff on our network. Big accomplishment right there. Our goal here is to make everybody grow, and that's all we want everybody to do is just balloon. And we have Ralph officially. We're gonna work at me, him, and Matt got to work it out. But yep, Ralph is joining this network, and we cannot be more excited. So, and then as you guys know, our good guy Pensman Sports is our hockey expert, and then my man sitting next to me, Brian Pettit. He is my statistician. He is my fill-in. He is everything. This dude is electric. He is about to have some massive interviews, by the way, with Brad Brownell at Clemson basketball, and then also the head women's softball coach at Clemson. Yeah, he's going to be interviewed, so stay tuned for that one. All right, so let's go to this next topic, and this one is affecting you too. I know that, Brian. And it's affecting a lot of people. YouTube TV and Disney/ABC/ESPN. It's really Disney, but
it's all Disney.
Whatever you want to call it. It is an absolute massive dispute, and what it stems from is the fact that Disney is wanting to have a massive rate height increase, and YouTube TV has come out and said they are not. Matt has to help finish moving is what he has to do. He has to finish move, so that's why he's not with us the rest of the night. But Disney wants this massive, it's 48% price increase, and YouTube TV has come out and said, no, we're not doing any more price increases. We've done 3 already this year. We're not raising any more for the next couple of years. This is their words. I have YouTube TV. We're missing out on a ton of quality. My girls, as everybody knows, my youngest is a Bluey fan, and my other girls, they like watching Disney. Can't watch it because why? Don't have the option to.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
No, he was drafted June of 2004 is what it says on his bio for Alex Ovechkin, but still 20 years. He's been in the league for 20 years. But my question to everybody is, and I know there's people watching, we have a bunch of people watching. If you have YouTube TV, are you considering dropping them? And if so, who or where would you go? Because this dispute will end soon. Ultimately, I think Disney is going to fold and reduce the request of how much they wanted to do the increase. And this is also another indication. So Pensman and I were on the phone last night, and the Disney bundle, the Disney Plus, and everything, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Don't we do this every?
We started.
Yeah. Don't we do this every year with these TV. They'll come out and say, "Oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. We're going to hike the thing," and then it gets into disputation, and then they'll about a month from now, everybody gets mad, everybody switches. All it is just a money trigger. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's greed.
Like, yeah, it's greedy, and we do this every single year. And it seems to happen around the biggest time of the year when it's football, basketball. It kind of lingers into everything, and then by the January, everything goes back. And then it happened last year with NBC. Or I think it was NBC or somebody.
It was
CBS.
Paramount.
Paramount. We do this every year, every single year for the past 5, I think.
Yeah, and it's getting ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous because people are going, well, I need to switch to this. I need to switch to this. And then you're just going back and forth. And
you're playing musical chairs is what you're doing.
And you're costing more money to do it,
So, crazy stat, Disney is losing $5 million a day during this dispute with YouTube. You would think that would make them want to say, I'm sorry. No. So the Disney Plus Hulu bundle with ESPN, when Cassie and I first got it, was like $8.99. You ready to hear this? This is Ralph.
Yeah.
Yes, man. You ready to hear this? This is gonna blow you. Get prepared to hold your socks. Last night, and I'm talking to Ralph, I said, let me see how much it is. Because I want to have my ESPN Plus back. $30 a month. Or Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, Disney, Hulu, all together. $30 a month.
Yeah.
What? That is absolutely pure greed. The chosen one, Pensman, he actually had to go finish moving. He was moving, so they had to return the U-Haul truck before they get charged another day. So that's why he is not here. But it's just this. I'm tired of the greed. Not that we bring politics in here. There's pettiness going on right now with the government shutdown. We're not going to talk about that. There's pettiness going on about YouTube TV and Disney and money. I'm like, get over it.
Yeah, they need to get over it quick.
When we first got YouTube TV, you ready to hear how much it was, Brian?
Let me guess. It was probably 19, probably somewhere in the 17 to 19 range.
$31. It was $31 with tax.
Okay. And it's probably now, 60
now
or 70 or 80?
$94 a month with tax. That's insane. And I'm just like, and YouTube TV has better high definition sound. They have the 4K, everything. So I love it. But there comes a time when I'm like, enough is enough. And what's even funnier, if you guys aren't paying attention, Pat McAfee and almost every sports, even Dan Orlovsky, who is Pensman Sports' best buddy, has come out and said, stop telling people to call YouTube TV and give in to this ridiculous price rate increase, and tell Disney to stop and just lower it, and then it'll come back. It's getting ridiculous. I'm tired of it. The greed has got to stop. It has to. That's actually one of the 7 deadliest sins. If you're a person who follows the Bible like I do, and many others do, being greed is one of the deadliest sins. Stop it. That's enough. Let's go to the next topic here. Unfortunately, we lost. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, do we want to mention this from last week that nobody actually talked about, but I found out about it? The Chanticleers, what they did last week in Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chanticleers had a beautiful.
Yes. Last week, everybody was Halloween and everything. Well, they called this the Halloween Chanticleers. Let me show you the jerseys that they lit up. Here, a picture of it. Let's go to this. There you go. That's what they did. It was glow in the dark. That was their jerseys. And they came out with the neon coastal jerseys, what showed up when they were coming out on the field at nighttime. That's pretty cool. I don't know who designed those, but that's actually pretty cool. of different kind of jerseys.
Oh, look.
Yeah. 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 But it's just kind of odd that some people. I mean, think about how the design was off of that.
Think how long it took them to figure that design. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's just one thing that. I mean, how many teams are actually going to fall in love with that one and go, "Oh, we need to try this," because it was actually pretty cool.
It takes one. It's a trend, and when it
is definitely a trend.
A team trending with the right direction with their uniforms.
Can you see Oregon doing this?
Oh gosh, dude, that would be fantastic.
That would
absolutely be fantastic.
Oh, another thing. Man,
all right, I was going to talk. We want to give a quick shout out to Marshawn Nealon. Unfortunately, he took his own life at the age of 24. Unfortunately, mental health is very important to pay attention to. I am somebody who suffers from mental health illnesses, and I tell everybody, get the help. There are people there to talk to you, especially for men, because we're told rub some dirt on it and no crying aloud, blah, 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 be a man, that stuff. Pay attention to your mind. Your mind can be your best friend and your absolute worst enemy. And our thoughts and our prayers go out to not only to Marshawn Nealon, but also his entire family and his girlfriend. They're going through a real tough time losing a loved one at such a young age. So we give a thoughts and prayers to him. Mm-hmm. I got a question for you, Brian.
Okay.
What is your best or favorite, whichever you want to call it, food or foods that you eat when you're chilling at either the fire pit, at a bonfire, or even at tailgate? You give me 4 of them, okay?
Well, okay. I'm going to give you 2 of them. That's going to surprise you. And a lot of people with a bonfire and that way, I'm going to go this direction. You got to have the s'mores. You got to have the golden cook. I think it's the graham cracker. I think that's what it is. And then you got to have the Hershey bar and the big old marshmallows roasting at the fire. And that's one of them. The other one is you got to have some kind of like hot chocolate or something. You got to have that warm on a cold. That's another good one. For a fire pit or something that's in the cold. For like tailgating, you got to go with a chicken, all kinds of different. And I'm going to mention this one too. You got to have some kind of good drink like lemonade or Coke or your peppered beverage. But that's just some of the things. But with eating, man, you can go all day with eating. The best thing is like hot dogs or something like that, hamburgers. I've actually seen people do steak at a tailgate at Talladega. Sometimes they have these big juicy steak and they'll flap it on and breakfast too. You never know what you're going to find. Some of the places. That's just kind of my favorites right there, though. What's yours?
When you talk about we talk at the fire pit. You're right.
Yeah.
It has to be a warm drink. I like hot chocolate. Cassie likes to have hot apple cider. I do too. It's pretty.
Yeah,
I think
that's pretty
amazing. Cool. That now for snacks, definitely got to go with the s'mores. Those, you have to have the graham cracker, you have the chocolate, you have those fat, fluffy. They're not the little teeny rinky-dink ones. No, the fat, fluffy marshmallows.
Ones, about that big.
Yeah, that make it even better. Let's see.
And you forget, and you might have to get some type of eggnog too.
That's true. Let's see. Bonfire though. Would be chicken wings. You have to do chicken wings.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Yeah, but at tailgating though, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, and then if you're talking about partaking in drinks, some alcoholic adult beverages, absolutely. Yep. Coke, products, Pepsi. The list goes on. What about you? We have a bunch of people watching. You tell us what you think. Let us know in the stream. What is
Brandon, on that subject? Food? I've actually seen when I go to Talladega, there's sometimes that they will actually fix a big old hog. That's weird going to some of these racetracks.
That's the best.
They got this hog chained up to the thing, and they just wrap it around it and let it go. I've seen that one. I was like, wow, that took some SP to do though.
When I lived in Hawaii, that's what they do at a luau. Luau is they cook a pig in the ground,
That'd be cool to see.
We would go and tailgate at a UH football game, and you best believe we had a pig in the ground. Yep, and it was good. Oh yeah, that's the best.
Nice and crispy.
All right, so now comes the fun part of our show, the honorable mentions. What we're going to do is we're going to give you some honorable mention sports or regular stories in life, and you guys tell us yours. My first honorable mention, Brian, is shout out to everyone who has already begun to decorate for Christmas. Obviously, it's well documented that holiday season and decorations have a very positive effect on everyone's mental health, on their psyche, and their overall feelings. What they call the holiday time the happiest time of the year, because decorations make it's an endorphin situation in your brain. But my question that I ask everybody is if you decorate for Christmas, when do you do it? And when do you finally take them down? When do you put yours up, Brian?
I do mine. Well, it's always been a tradition here where, as a family thing, mine's always usually right after Thanksgiving, not the day of. It's right before you have your meal at lunchtime, and then you do your decorations right after you eat dinner or something like that. Because that was our tradition when I was at my grandma's house or at my grandma's house. After our big dinner, we would actually eat, then sit there for a little bit, take naps, and then after that, it would be that afternoon before we all left on a Sunday, and we'd decorate the Christmas tree, and that was kind of our tradition right there. So I'd say about after Thanksgiving, because we'd get crazy after that,
I like that. Mine is actually, it's going to be this weekend. After Holden's birthday party, we're going to start decorating. We want to have everything up and going by the end of next week. We have a bunch of Christmas trees to put up, and then we put lights on the fireplace, and then we put the outdoor decorations. But when do you usually take yours down though? Is it like a specific day or whenever you feel like it?
No, mine stays up pretty much until New Year's Day. Like mine will come down on this probably January the 1st, right when it hits.
Ours goes until January. I have mine until January the 7th.
Yeah.
So I've always had it that way. Yeah. And one thing I do like the fact is that my my expenses for the bills go down lower because we don't use as much electricity. So I love it.
Exactly. And
what is your first? Go ahead.
I do like how people are starting to put lights on their houses. That's pretty cool. And I do like when they do the songs and all that. That's really talented. I wish I could do that, of putting music onto a soundtrack, like everybody else does. It's kind of cool though. But and there's a lot of neighborhoods that actually have competition. I know some places in Nashville that we used to go up there for Christmas and stuff. They hold a community, like not a community, but their neighborhood would have big competition. And it would be a long time for you can get up in those mountains to do a competition. There'd be like 40 houses or 100 houses to have all these big decorations, see who the house is. And you had to go vote on it too,
Yep.
We
do that here.
Yeah.
We haven't done it in a couple of years, but we do that here. We do a competition to see who has the best decorated house, and you win a $50 gift card. And the first time we brought it into existence, the entire row from the front all the way to the back got into it, and it was mentioned on WYFF4. They actually, because they used to drive around and showing where the people about like with neighborhood Christmas lights. Yeah, we were mentioned a couple times. So, what is your first honorable mention, sir?
Me, I'm actually going to honor me because I got 100 subscribers tonight. So yay for me!
Awesome. Let's keep getting them going.
That's right.
It's the first of many, many, many more. So congratulations on that one. My next honorable mention has to be goes out to Cal State Northridge women's basketball. They did open their season the other day, but they opened it up against Bethesda College, and they didn't give up the first points until Northridge had scored 72 in a row. And Northridge ended up winning 115-13. It was an absolute shellacking, but shout out definitely goes out to the the Cal State Northridge team for setting a record in women's basketball for most consecutive points scored before giving up the first basket. What's your next one?
I'm gonna give it to that. Everybody's been talking about it. I forgot his name now, but he's like 6'1", 7'1", and everything. Give a shout out to him playing his first game.
Oliver.
Yeah.
The boy from Florida. He's 7'9". He's 7'9".
7'9". Yeah, give it out to him. And I just saw him a while ago on TV. He's really skinny, but if you put a little muscle on him, but I think that he's gonna be good. If they give him talent. I think he could be good. So
and it's
we'll
true.
see.
People who are that tall, they don't traditionally get husky like they should.
Yeah.
Obviously he is the third tallest person ever walked the face of the planet. The tallest one was 8'11.5" back in the early 20s.
Yeah.
And he died of Marfan syndrome, which is what this boy has, is giantism. Irregularly long tendons. So I don't think he will get the opportunity to play professionally like in the NBA. Now, international, there's a possibility if given the right opportunity. The least thing is he's getting a college education. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
So my next honorable mention is going to go to Marshall Academy High School in Mississippi. Why? I'm not giving it to him because congratulations. No, I'm giving to him. They've been fined. The head coach has also been fined. And the home playoff game, which was scheduled to play tonight, it's now been rescheduled for tomorrow at the team that was coming to them to play the home game. Why are they being fined? I'm so happy you asked, because there is this really bizarre format in the High School Association for Mississippi in this particular region, that everybody gets to play in the playoffs. Everybody, doesn't matter anything. Well, they threw the last game because they didn't really try because they knew they were going to play it. Well, the school was fined $7,500. The head coach was fined $1,000, and they lost the ability to host a home playoff game. They're not so. Even if they win all the way through, they do not get a home game at all. They've lost out on that revenue for the home playoff game. Yep. So
that's weird.
It's such a weird rule in high school, and there is a region here in South Carolina where it doesn't matter your record, you're getting into the playoffs. It's just because it's so small. It's a terrible rule. I hate it. Absolutely terrible rule. All right, what's your next honorable mention, sir?
Mine is going to be to all the high school football teams tonight because they are now in the playoffs. So give everybody a thumbs up on that. So now we're in the big playoffs here in South Carolina, and there's a lot of teams that didn't make it, and there's a lot of teams that are going to make it, that are making it now. So they just kicked off about 7:30. A lot of them kicked off at 7:30. But
did I hear this correctly? Burns High School is not in the playoffs.
I don't know if they are or not. I don't know. I have to look on that one.
That would be funny if they're not.
Yeah, but anyway, to give a shout out to all the teams that have made the playoffs this year. So it's been
absolutely.
And Brandon, this is the funny part. It's been like one of those quick. You remember a couple months ago, you're like, okay, we're starting the football season, and now it's here, and we're like, it's gone. It's like, where did it go?
So Burns is in the playoffs. They're playing tonight against Bowling Springs.
Ooh,
but it's gonna be a big game. But yes, you're right. Absolutely. Shout out to a lot of the high school games that are getting going. Obviously, Roswell High School is they're the region champs. They're playing Chamblee High School. It's a big game right there for Chamblee. Roswell may now has the clear path to go all the way to
I think
the state tournament game.
I think Greenwood has the night off. I think
you have a bye.
Yeah, they got a bye. So congratulations to Greenwood High School. So
absolutely.
So
good one. All right. So my last honorable mention, the great Don Mattingly is walking away from the game for now, and it could be permanent. He did come out and say he's not ready to announce that he's going to retire yet. He is contemplating it, but he is leaving the Blue Jays. He is leaving the managerial position in baseball. I think honestly he needs to go ahead and retire and enjoy the rest. He's done a lot. He is a fantastic player, fantastic coach, everything. Great leader. I mean, he did great things. He played for the Atlanta Braves, did great things for the Braves. Just all around outstanding career. So, Don, if this is it, we're tipping our metaphorical caps to you.
That's
now,
right.
man. Congratulations on an illustrious career. And if this is it, go enjoy retirement and spend time with your kids and your grandkids, and go fishing. Like, it's just
do something. Go play golf.
Just enjoy being home, because it ain't nothing like it anywhere. What's your final honorable mention, sir?
I'm just going to give it up to Ralph. He's had a rough couple of weeks and everything.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw it turned off.
Light flicked off. No, it flicked off and turned back on. That was weird.
I think it's Ralph. Ralph's in your house. Ralph, you're already at Brandon's house already? That was quick. Anyway, we got to give it to Ralph because he's had a rough week at the hospital. So, man, I'm glad you're home. And Benjamin and y'all have fun tomorrow doing a lot of work. Ralph, put him to work, though, if you're still here. Put Benjamin to work.
Yep, absolutely. I got to give a shout out to my daughter, Holden. Tomorrow, yeah, her birthday was last week, but her birthday party is tomorrow. Brian is going to be here. Our neighbors down the road, Matt Verbenek and Jennifer, and their two girls are coming over. And the girls' godparents, Angela and Steve, are coming. So just going to be a lot of fun. Just to see her face light up is just going to make it all better.
Yep.
So shout out to you, Holdy. I love you. Oh, so yes, all my kids had nicknames. I call Addison baby and baby girl. That's always what I call her. Eastland has a uniqueness, so I call her EC because Holden got the hiccups. Holden used to call her EC, so we call her EC, or we'll call her East. And Cassie and I used to call her Easter, so we call her Easter sometimes. And then when Holden was also a baby, she called Eastland Isowin. So sometimes we'll say Eastwin or Isowin. So now we have this Isowin, Holdawin, Daddy win, Mommy win, and it's a whole
It's
joke.
just going off.
Yeah. And Holden, we call her Holdy, Holden Molden, and Turkey. So but Angela and Steve have a nickname for all of them. Addison is Tater Tot. What is Easton, Cassie? Small fry.
Frost
fry.
Another small fry. No, hash brown.
Hash brown, and then
Tater baby.
And then Aspen is Tater Baby.
Tater
so it's all themed around potatoes. So yeah.
Hey, Brand, I got one for you. Food monster. She's starting to be a food monster now, right?
Yes, that's right. That's Aspen. Yep. But and then Aspen, I just call her I call her baby.
Yeah, there you go.
And I call her Turkey, and her favorite character is Bluey, so she goes ooey 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 ooey. So it cracks us up every time she says ooey or Bluey, and she'll be there. She goes Bluey, and it's so cute.
Oh yeah,
how she does it. Yep. Aspen is she's the apple of my eye, an angel in the sky. I love her. Yep. I love all my girls, but it's just something about Aspen that does it more. She's perfect in every asset of the matter. Guys, we've had a very fun episode. Absolutely a blast of an episode. And real quick, wanted to let everybody know again, we are live on 95.5 KFCE and TigerNation.live. We also air on a total of 9 other radio stations, and we also air in 29 different countries. Shout out to Iceland, Greenland, United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, Finland, all the above. And of course, the greatest state there is in the state of Hawaii. As we are deeply rooted in the state of Hawaii. And remember, the Sportz Nutz are going to Hawaii. We're going to be there for opening day of New Aloha Stadium. You will see myself, Brian, Matt, our newest member, also Pensman is going to be joining us on there. We should, and hopefully Shane will be with us too. So we will see. So, real quick, want to let everybody know there is a couple of stories that we did not cover. Darryl Strawberry has been pardoned by Donald Trump for drug charges, which is good because Darryl Strawberry was a great player. He just had a real rough patch regarding drugs, but he is a fantastic player. He's really turned his life around for the good. He is a role model. So good on Darryl Strawberry for getting the opportunity to enjoy the benefits.
Yeah. I remember when he's come up to bat, you're like, uh-oh, here we go. He's going to hit a home run here. You knew he's going to hit a base hit or a home run. And he was just one of those massive guys that you're like, oh, shoot, here we go. And you didn't want him to bat with nobody out because you know he was going to hit it.
You knew he was going to do some damage.
Yeah. And especially if he had runners on base, you're like, well, here comes a run or 2 runs because he was going to try to drive it to left field or right. I think it was left field. Yeah. Right. No, right field. Excuse me. He always, Yeah,
and Darryl Strawberry was the elite, so congratulations on him there. Also, real quick, congratulations to there is now a contemporary Pro Baseball Hall of Fame ballots that are out. People who were on it have never gotten the opportunity to be elected. They are now on it, and they are going to be elected into the Hall of Fame. One name in particular, Barry Bonds, is going to get there. Oh my God, played for the Braves.
Oh,
Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, Dale Murphy's on that list.
Just mentioned him while I got there.
Andrew Jones is on that list. So we're going to see more players finally get there. Roger Clemens is on that list. So we might see.
I think Sammy Sosa was on that list.
Sammy Sosa is mentioned. Mark McGwire is not on that list, but he will get there. So congratulations to all those. Hopefully Dale Murphy gets right on there. He deserves it. Dale Murphy is a fantastic individual. I've gotten to meet him. Yeah, I've met him.
He needs to be the first
fantastic. One. Oh gosh, yeah. Fantastic.
What
guy.
he did for the Braves and everything, he needs to be there.
Genuine love for the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia, just amazing. And then also real quick, Japanese home run king Murakami has now posted he is available to all MLB teams. The first team that is linked to him, though, obviously, is unfortunately the Dodgers. But the LA Dodgers are mentioned as a team. The New York Metropolitans, the New York Yankees are mentioned. There is an outside opportunity that the Atlanta Braves, they are mentioned with the Atlanta Braves too. And last but certainly not least is also the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh, some of them.
So we will see what happens on that one. We hope you guys had a fantastic episode with us. We had a lot of fun. Shout out to the 237 of y'all that tuned in. We greatly appreciate you guys 1,000 times over. If you can, please head on over to our YouTube channel at the Sportz Nutz 176. Please click subscribe, and if you don't mind, and turn that little icon bell on so you never miss a moment of the great content that we provide you. And if you can, follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'd greatly appreciate it. You guys make this show the best of the best. Real quick, Brian, let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on 24 TS Media on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook under my real name, Brian Pettit. You can find me on X at TS Media 25 and all the other platforms. And also, I'll be here on the Sportz Nutz more in the coming weeks. So, yeah.
Yes. That is
and
true.
Definitely follow Pisman Sports and Ralph RW Media. So, Ralph Williams, RW Media. Yeah. So, there they are right there.
This gentleman right here at Pisman Sports. Let's follow him. Great guy. He's a good buddy of ours. And then last but not least, this gentleman right here, Ralph Williams at RW Media. Please help them out by clicking subscribe and follow on every social media platform there is. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned in tonight and our special guest, Abe Gordon, as our good friend Shane will tell you, peace, love, and bacon grease. And Matt tells you, this one's the best one because I got this new thing. But Matt will always tell you, if you're going to partake in some adult libations, don't get flagged in the game of life. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Stay home. Otherwise, you're going to have this.
Yep.
If you have that behind you,
You better pull over.
Yep. When you have that behind you, your whole evening has just gone to the toilets. And by the way, speaking of toilets, the toilet is that you have at the jail. You're in the middle of the hallway. You don't want to be there. So just don't get flagged in the game of life. Brian, what do you tell everybody?
I'm going to tell everybody be safe, be kind, and love each other. And that's a good show tonight. Oh, and
Absolutely.
Clemson's actually winning over Gardner-Webb 98-54 with 3 minutes to go in the second. So that's
over.
the men's basketball team.
Congratulations to the Clemson Tigers. Gardner-Webb, beautiful campus. And I always tell you guys, peace up, A-Town down. Why it's the greatest sports city there ever was. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday because there is an episode on Tuesday. Yes, it is Veterans Day. We have the Biloxi Breakers, the professional hockey team, is going to join us to talk what it's like about being hockey down in Mississippi. There will not be an episode next Friday. Where me and Matt are debating it might move to Thursday. I will keep you guys updated. We will, and if you are interested in joining, this is the last week to add on to the Pick'em Challenge poll. If you are interested in it, shoot us a message, and we'll be happy to sign you up. Y'all have a wonderful evening and have a great time enjoying this weather. So it's supposed to be nice until Sunday. Then the cold comes. Snow is coming for the Western North Carolina regions and the upstate of South Carolina and further north. Good night and enjoy this outro.